Hey guys, this is Wei and welcome to Deity Tips. In these videos, I'll be giving out tips and strats that are non-specific to any civilization or leaders. These will be tips and strategies that I personally use in order to make the game easier and stand a chance, since in Deity mode the AIs are given many perks and bonuses. So that means that I won't be going over the basics and instead get right to the point.
Necessitates new solutions to old problems.
And so the very first tip that I want to talk about is going to be on city settling. Now of course I'm not going to go over the basics of where to settle your city and why. Instead we're going to get a little bit more advanced to talk about city placement due to defensive and offensive purposes. Alright, as you can see here, I've already settled my first city and it's already been 28 turns past. As you can see here, I've settled my city one tile next to where my settler originally started. And I'm going to explain why I settled my city here and break it down into 3 parts. So the first reason why I chose to settle my city here, aside from the fact of the district bonuses and luxury resource, is something I call defensive barriers. And what I mean by this is to settle your city near either like a mountain tile, a lake, or oceans, so that you know that one of your side is protected and an enemy won't be able to attack you from that direction. Now for the second reason is something that I like to call defensive unit placing. So the positioning that I placed my city here, as you can see, is right next to this mountain tile, which I highly recommend not doing. But I did this because of the reason, if I was to put a ranged unit in this tile right here, that it will be completely safe from enemy attack and be able to support and taking out any melee units that come within one tile of my city. And with my city and the mountain being here, these 2 tiles back here are safe tiles, while these tiles up here are kill zone tiles. Also with this setup, my city and this mountain will act as a funnel for any units that wants to loop around and attack my units back here. Now if we were going to get attacked from the south, my ranged unit can still stay in this area right here, getting the bonus defense of the hill and rainforest. And if I was to have an archer over here, it will get the defensive bonus of the river and the hill if it was getting attacked from this tile. And the unit that is placed back here will be completely safe. And once again, these 2 tiles right here will be kill zone tiles. And on to the third reason on why I chose to settle my city here is something I like to call enemy delayed attack. And what I mean by this is, as you can see here, this is a rainforest tile. I've also got a river running through it. This is a hill tile, this is a hill tile, and this is a hill tile. Now this was forest tile before I turned it into a holy site. And what that means is that any melee units that move within these tiles will have to wait 1 turn before attacking my city. That means that the archer placement that I have down around my city will get 1 extra turn at shooting them. What this also means is that since these are hill tiles and rainforest tiles, and the tiles beyond it are flat tiles, as you can see here, is that any ranged units or catapult units that are within these tiles cannot attack my city. So they would have to move within the kill zone, which then will be open to attack from my archers that are placed around my city. As you can see, I've settled my second city similar to my first. With the ocean tiles being over here and the mountain tiles up top, I know that early on in the game like this, I won't be getting attacked from that direction. And if I was getting attacked from the south, I know that I can place melee or ranged units in these 2 tiles and they'll get the defensive bonus of the river. And since this is a hills and rainforest tile and this is a forest tile, it means that if any units were to move into these tiles, they'll have to wait 1 turn before attacking my city. And as you can see here, this is a plains tile, this right here is a plains tile, and this right here is a plains tile. So it means that any ranged units or bombardment units that are placed out in these 3 tiles will not be able to attack my city, and they'll be forced to move into the kill zone for my archers that will be placed around my city. Now I also like to mention that if I was to place a melee unit here with its fortification bonus and the river bonus, that if it was getting attacked from a melee unit, it will be able to survive much longer and prevent enemy unit from occupying that tile. Now it is the same with this city. If I was to place a unit here, it will gain the rainforest bonus, the river bonus, and only 1 unit can attack it at a time, unless of course they take the time to go around the mountain. Okay, so now we'll take a look at a couple other city setups on a different game. So as you can see here, we're playing as the Ottoman Empire. And for my capital, I didn't have much of a choice. I originally started over in this tile, but I did move over 1 tile. And at first I did not realize that this was a whole mountain range, but I did settle near it hoping that it would act as a natural barrier, and it did turn out in my favor. As you can see here, I also settled right next to this ocean tile. And the reason for that is that it will act as a natural obstruction for any units that are trying to attack a ranged unit that I will place in this position. And if for any reason my city was surrounded by melee units, it will not be put under siege because of this ocean tile right here, unless of course it is occupied by a navy unit. But early games like this, usually you don't have to worry about any navy units. So if I was to get attacked from the left, I would set a ranged unit in this tile and this tile. The ranged unit in this tile would gain the river defensive bonus, and the ranged unit in this tile will be almost untouched unless of course the ranged unit got to these two tiles. Not only that, I can set melee units out front here and they will gain the defensive bonus of the rainforest and the hill. But however, unfortunately, my city will be more prone to ranged units and bombardment attacks, which is where the melee units could come in play. Okay, so on my second city here, I had more of a choice to settle wherever I want. So as you can see, I settled my city here right next to the ocean also for the same benefit that it will not be put under siege. And even though if this tile was occupied by a navy unit later on in the game, this tile is almost an unoccupiable tile by any enemy troops. And the reason for that is because this is a hill tile right next to an ocean tile or a lake tile. And what that means is that it's an elevated tile, so no land units can enter it immediately. Instead, they will have to go around and then work their way to that tile. And since this tile is pretty much blocked off by my city and the mountains, that means that it will be unoccupied, and that means that this city will never be put under siege. And then of course I've got the natural barriers, and I've got good positions to position my ranged units. And like I said, land units will have to go around in order to attack this city. So if I was to place a ranged unit here and a ranged unit here, they'll get free attack on any units that are trying to land in these areas. And it'll be the same result for any units who are trying to enter over here. The ranged unit here will be able to attack them. And of course, I can also always set another archer right here too. And with that guys, I'd just like to conclude this video by saying that of course you can't always find the best position to settle your city, and you'll have to make do with what you have. But if you do try to seek out the 3 qualities that I have just mentioned, or the 3 tips that I had just mentioned about having a natural barrier, good unit placement, and some terrains that can delay an enemy attack, most likely you'll come out on top. And once again, thanks guys for stopping on by. If you guys have any questions or if I missed anything, please leave it in the comments. Thank you.